de reabilitare a zonei Petrila, se cheamă așa un fel de orașul Petrila, un fel de viitor.
Deci viitorul VJ-ului tot în domeniul energetic.
Nu neapărat, dar astea sunt primele două proiecte. Eu cred că este foarte important, mai ales că România a intrat foarte târziu în această schemă a VJ-ului. Vă mulțumesc frumos!
Nu știu ce s-a întâmplat. Acum funcționează, da? Tu îl ai. Ok. Hai să-l vedem.
Un car că nu e...
Ia vezi, o ai 5-ul?
Da, este, îți dau o heterodină?
Nu mai. Ce te roagă? Ce te roagă spune? Că dacă nu acoperi și dacă e ce, dacă când vin. Și de eventual stai că ce
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
The smallest country is coming the first one.
Well,
I'm the first one.
that's the list. It's not your fault. Near mine.
How many years do we know each other?
I don't know. It's far too long because I've been in the Ministry of Science in 2008, 2005 and 2008. And energy, it's now. Minister in energy.
Welcome, my friend. Thank you.
cunosc, da, da.
Morning.
Good morning.
Richard from Norway.
I recognized you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Let's look in the right direction.
Thank you. one question. I'd like to ask you also something about the whole region in transition in your country. Do you have some projects in?
Yes, we have a project in the central and north Greece. We belong also to the initiative of Coal Region Transition, and we believe there will be a very good initiative to help the people there, the growth, and to also to change and to foster the transition of the regions. Thank you very much.
What is the main purpose of this project? What you will do exactly in that region? Which kind of activity, economic activity will?
First of all, there are some repurposing activities, I mean land restoration. Second is investment in renewable energy, especially in biofuels and hydrogen, and also biomethane. And third is also some new activities in the storage of energy, especially batteries, etc. So we continue with the industrial type of the area. Okay, good. Thank you. Morning.
How do you sleep?
Yes, good. Excellent. Excellent.
Super. Very good. Very good.
Can you tell me, for example, what is your plan in this? What is your project? If we talk about for example, what can you tell us about the coal region in transition in Europe? Will be the future for the next 10 years, please.
Yes, I think it's very important to invest in many kinds of solutions. For example, the integration of different kinds of energy sectors, heating, cooling, electricity, industry, and so on. So we need all the low carbon technologies for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
On parlait en français.
Non, je ne parle pas. Je comprends.
Oh, c'est déjà.
How are you today?
Super, as usual.
Good morning, Anton.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Let's look at the... Good. Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You have to step a little bit. Yes. Find your place. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Super. Where is your pin? You lost your pin. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much.
How did you sleep?
Very well. Very well organized.
Good morning.
Hello, Minister. Greetings from Estonia.
How is Estonia today?
Yesterday it was snowing. So,
Well,
can't complain.
good morning.
Good morning. Susanne from Denmark.
From Denmark.
Yes, and
Thank you. Please. Good morning.
How are you?
Excellent. We have to make it's oh, did you sleep?
Great. Fantastic. Right. Okay.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Reporter from Sweden. Nice to meet you.
Sweet?
Yes.
Super. You want a good photo? A good photo? Yes. They don't look so fat.
Just a second, please. España.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Minister. Reuniunea, Czech Republic.
Czech Republic.
Hello, good morning, Minister.
Just a second. Perfect. It was excellent.
Super.
Excellent.
For example, in Spain, what is your plan for cooler regions in transition?
Cooler regions in transition. Well, I think that all the regions in Europe should go for an energy transition in the sense of moving towards renewables. There is a lot of opportunities in sun and wind, and so the electrification, the distributed generation and renewables.
But for example, in Spain, did you make some projects to obtain European funds for this?
Well, in any European country should take a close view of the European funds. Thank you.
Hasta español. Good morning.
Good morning, Minister.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
How are
Good
you?
to see you. Good.
Can
Good.
you step a little bit here?
Yeah, yeah.
Because a nice photo.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Just a second, please, if it's possible. Just a second. You're from Slovenia, yes? I would like to ask you, what is your plan, for example, in your country regarding cool region in transition? I know you have one of these.
Sorry?
What is your plan in your country regarding cool regions in transition?
Sorry, I
Coal
didn't
regions in transition. Coal regions. Mining regions in transition.
Well, we don't have coal mining in Portugal. We used to have, we don't anymore. We import all our coal, but we have two coal power plants, and we plan to close them in the next years.
And what is the future, for example, for those regions?
But we don't produce coal. The future for those regions is renewable energy, like the rest of the country.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Excellent.
Good to be here.
It's a good time.
We will have a good meeting here. We have to watch out.
Morning.
Good morning.
Secretary of State of Energy for Portugal.
How did you stay?
Very nice, very nice. Very good discussion.
Well, you are going to participate.
Yes, I will. Thank you very much.
Good morning. How are you? How did you stay?
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
It was a nice dinner. And you after?
Well, a nice dinner. You liked it.
Yeah.
I hope we'll have a fruitful discussion today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I bring my regards from Minister Mitsikos.
Why?
So,
Thank you. Please.
thank you very much.
Huge problem on emissions, because even though we actually managed to, well, we won't meet our energy targets, we'll probably be 85–90% of the way towards them.
Good morning, Minister. Just a second. In Bulgaria, for example, what are your plans regarding coal regions in transition, mining regions?
As you know, they are coupled. The core regions in Bulgaria are these which are giving us the opportunity to balance our energy system. We overachieved our renewables target until 2020, which was 16%. We achieved 19.2%, but it was only possible with the opportunity for balancing this through our thermal power plants in the Mărița East region.
But for coal regions, did you make some, I don't know, plans, programs, projects with European funds?
We are speaking permanently with our colleagues about this. We are sending people there which are participating in hearing what the other member states are proposing. And of course, it's very important that in the future budget of European Union will be also enough money for regions like this.
It's a big problem in Bulgaria in this kind of regions. I don't know, it's like in Romania, a lot of people doesn't have any more jobs and something like this.
It's about 15,000 people directly working in this area, and 150,000 people which are indirectly working there. For us, it's very important to keep as long as possible these people working there, because as I mentioned already, Bulgaria is depending 47% of our energy mix is coming from these core regions. That's strategically for us, and we will do everything what's possible to keep them safe as long as possible.
As I know, there are a lot of monies, European funds for these regions. Yes, for 400 billions.
At the moment, there is not special money for this, but in the future period, it's planned. I spoke with the chairman of the Energy Committee, Mr. Buzek, which mentioned that future plans showing that about 5 billion euro will be planned in the future budget for this. But how I mentioned, first of all, we have to think about technologies which will give us the opportunity to have these regions alive, because it's very important for the security of supply of the region. Bulgaria is exporting 1/3 of their energy to Romania, to Greece, to Turkey, to Serbia, to Macedonia, which means that we need these regions alive and really working for the sustainable energy system.
And my last question, sir, is regarding BRUA, the gazoduct. Yes. What do you think, will it start next year?
Yes, it's a crucial project for the whole region, Bulgaria, Romania, Hungary, Austria. It's very important that all the countries are sitting together and discussing every time the opportunities. As you know, the project is developing good. First part of the project is already in progress. Of course, we spoke our TSOs, gas TSOs, planning also to sit and to discuss the opportunity for the vertical gas corridor and the connection to the BRUA project. It's from enormous importance, the Bulgarian-Greece interconnector, which will bring to the countries in the region gas coming from the Shah Deniz 2, from Azerbaijan. It's a different route, different supplier. It's very important for the competitiveness of the all the enterprises in the region. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
11:30. Well, it will start at 11. Meeting with you will start at 11.
I see.
Mr. Minister.
Good morning. You look a little bit tired.
No. Just, I did not start, to be honest. But you have a nice city. Very strategic question from your media. Very good questions.
Yeah, well,
they are very good.
Hello, sir. Good morning. Just a second, please. First of all, if it's possible, Hungary and Germany. Just a second, please. Germany first, and then Hungary. Sir, I would like to ask you something about coal region in transition in your country. Can you tell us what kind of projects did you already made, and if you send those projects to the European Commission for financing?
Yes, we're going to make a phase out until, in the next 20 years, we're going to make a phase out until 2038, and we're going to switch to renewables because we think that's important for the environment, that we reduce the carbon emissions, and we have the aim to reduce the carbon emissions in 2050 to near zero. So that's a huge challenge for us because we have 50% of our energy comes from coal. So therefore, it's a huge transition.
How many jobs do you think will be made? I don't know, with this project.
We hope that we create new jobs for these regions, but also that's a challenge because we want to build, for example, a new battery production because in the next years it's also important to bring the batteries to Europe because for the automotive industry it's very important that we also make the switch from fossil to electricity and renewables.
And I have another question, just one please. It's regarding Nord Stream 2.
Yes.
What do you think, this gasoduct will help on other European countries, or it's just for Germany?
I think it's important for the whole European Union, because it saves also our supply and security supply, and it's especially for the countries also in the middle of Europe important. And for us it's also important that the Eastern European countries are involved, and also the Ukrainians are involved, and also the security of their supplies is safe. And also the transition for the Ukrainians are very important for us. So therefore, we had a lot of talks, and I think it will go forward today. Thank you.
I ask you this because Poland and Baltic states are a little bit against.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Thank you very much again for the invitation. Great to see you.
No.
Yeah?
It's a pleasure to see you.
How is it going?
Super.
Yeah, super.
Good morning, Minister. Hello, good morning, Minister. Just a second, please, if it's possible. Colega?
Ja, voll.
Good morning.
Good morning, I'm David Clapper from the UK.
Well, you look.
Thank you for inviting me.
Good morning.
How are you, Minister?
Well, I'm fine. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Great event.
Which is very helpful.
Why?
Just a second, please. I would like to ask you something regarding coal regions in transition in Slovakia, for example. Did you make any projects?
Well, what you mean? I didn't understand the question.
It's regarding coal regions, mining regions in your country.
Yes, we are working on a project because we have a mining region where we would like to more or less in the future start the mining. We are making steps forward.
Thank you very much. Commissioner, just a second. Good morning. Hello, sir. I would like to ask you something regarding coal regions in transition in Europe. Can you tell us, for example, European Commission, how many money will give for those regions?
Well, the budget of the European Union for the 2021-2027 in the multi-annual financial framework more than 25% of the budget will be dedicated to actions related to climate action. No? So we'll have the structural funds, we'll have the social fund, we'll have the global adjustment fund, who also has been increasing some amounts. We have the finance of the European Investment Bank. We have EU Invest, finance modernization projects in renewables and energy efficiency. And we have an array of financial instruments in the European Union. But we also have the Coordinating Transitions Initiative. We are establishing pilot programs, one of them in Romania, in the Siu Valley. And tomorrow the Commission will travel there to try and organize. And currently the Parliament is discussing a specific fund for this region, which is the Just Transition Fund. This is a proposal from the European Parliament to incorporate in the financial framework of the future a fund of nearly 5 billion euros just targeted to these regions. Let's see how that debate develops, but in principle that is a very good idea of the European Parliament, and the Commission is following this debate. If that fund is established, then we will have a very specific fund to assist these regions, because we have insisted that the way to climate neutrality in 2050 requires a fair and social just transition. Nobody can be left behind, and we have to mobilize all the public and private finance available in order to reconvert these regions to the employments of the future, because the world is changing. Renewable energy is being more competitive than fossil fuel in the future. Those countries who have renewable energy will be more competitive for the industry, and green growth will have in the European Union. We calculate that climate neutrality will produce an increase of GDP around 2%. There will be new jobs in other sectors, in the energy efficiency, in the building sector, but we have to prepare the regions who are very based on coal for this transition. This is not a transition that will happen overnight, in a week, in a month. It will require many years, and we have to reconvert, to reskill the workers, and to prepare the ground for making important investments in this region. That's why the platform for coal region in transition is working with many pilot programs, sharing best practices, making better use of the funding available. We are highly committed to assist those countries who are highly dependent on coal to participate in the transition to a climate-neutral Europe.
Sir, do you know the Romanian authorities have sent to the Commission some projects regarding the Jurul Valley?
We are discussing currently tomorrow. My team is going to the region with the Romanian government, and we are going to discuss how we can better develop projects in that region, along other pilots that are going at the same time in other regions of the European Union.
And my last question, sir, is regarding the gases from the Black Sea. What do you think the Brua gasoduct will start functioning next year?
We have invested heavily in the Brua in the gas pipeline with grants from the Connecting Europe facility, with finances from the financial institutions. And we hope that these projects will be developed. But in order to be developed, also we have to have liquidity in the market. We have to have no bans on exports, and that's why we are currently discussing the emergency ordinance with the Romanian government to see that there is not only the infrastructure, but it's also the gas to be transported. And we have the infrastructure. I think that the companies will invest heavily in the Black Sea to develop the reserves that are of gas there, and that Romania will become an exporter of gas, which is positive for Romania and positive for the region.
For example, if this will not happen next year, what?
No, the Brua is already underway. The first part of Brua is underway. Now we have to finalize the second part, because we are currently discussing whether it will go to Austria directly through Hungary or to go through Slovakia. So we have currently a discussion of which is the best route. But the first part of Brua is already ongoing, and I am confident that this very important project for the second region is underway, along with IGB, with Greece, Bulgaria, and other interconnectors. Since we started in 2015 making interconnectors in the region, a lot of work has been done, and the security of supply is better established now.
In your opinion, which one is the best route?
No, I have no opinion. My opinion is that we need the Brua pipeline. We need that there is gas to go to transit through the pipeline, and I have made all the efforts to support this exercise during the last 6 SESEC meetings. We started in 2015, the reality in 2019 is quite different, and I suppose that the commissioner that will follow me will have the opportunity to see it finalized.
And my last question, sir, is regarding Nord Stream 2. What is your opinion about this project? What will happen with this project? Because I understood that, for example, Poland and Baltic states are not agree with this gasoduct.
When Gazprom and some European companies decided to build this pipeline, we acknowledge that the European legislation was not fit for purpose because we couldn't apply our rules in our territorial waters, for example. That's why I have proposed, and I did propose, to change the gas regulation in order to have competences for the European Union to take decisions on how to apply our energy gas regulations also to offshore pipeline. The Parliament and the Council have agreed a modification of the gas regulation, so now we can enforce European Union legislation and make sure that there is unbundling, third-party access, transparency of prices, so applying all the European legislation. On the other side, we currently have asked also for a mandate to negotiate with Russia the conditions of the use of pipelines so that it doesn't affect the markets on a negative way, but that mandate has not been yet approved by the Council, and we are asking the Romanian presidency to put it on the table. The Romanian president did excellent work deciding the gas regulation, and because it has been blocked along many presidencies, and it was the Romanian presidency who was able to unblock this piece of legislation. Now we have still pending a proposal for a mandate to negotiate the Commission with Russia and the terms of application of the European regulation and the Russian regulation to the pipeline, if ever built.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioner.
I was kidnapped by the press.
I've seen.
I say you have a mechanism.
Very good. Very
Thank you.
good. Thank you.
Sorry for being late.
No, you're not. Terrible. You found it. It's terrible. It's better without it.
Exactly. It's a lot feeling of
Nu-mi imaginez nicio problemă.
You use the number of
program.
You will see my comments on the election.
Nu știu ce țară e, dar o să mă ce faci China e? Avem o albă. Ai spațiu. Păi trebuia să și opresc. Da?
Well, I'm on two. I'm on day two.
The best. The best. Near zero, just zero.
So, when we start,
Yes,
we start.
we're ready.
Ready?
Ei mai lucrează și cu
Ladies and gentlemen, ok, bună dimineața! Bună dimineața, dragi colegi!